Alright guys, we're going to start here in just a little bit. A few of y'all are getting on. I think I got this all set up. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started on tonight's presentation. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I think I got all this hooked up properly. We're at least going to hope so as we try this. Usually we do this during the, at the club there at Crown Colony. We use the back room in the garden room and I give a big presentation. Most of y'all enjoy coming and seeing me talk in front of everyone. Usually it's the most you ever hear me speak, and I usually get tongue-tied and all that, so I thought this would be a good way for you at least to get to see me do it again in front of whoever's out there actually watching this. So we will be putting this on Facebook and all the other stuff, Instagram, to get the word out. Cool thing, as I was getting everything ready, we got 2 milestones this year for the junior program. The Crown Colony Junior Program has actually been doing this now for 10 years. We started up our junior program in 2011, so with it being 2021, we've been doing this 10 years. It seems like just yesterday, and some days it seems like I've been doing it for a lot longer. So that's the cool part. Here in a little bit I'll be going over what we do, talking more about our team practice and explain what team practices are. And our other milestone is this will be the 5th year we've done PGA Junior League. And at the end of the presentation, I'll be going more over that. So, 2 big things that we're talking about is how all the junior program works. So, that's the really cool thing. Just a little brief history and catching you up in the 10 years. We started off with 1 class. I think originally I had 1 student sign up. And that blew up into now we have classes pretty much Tuesday through Friday once the season starts. Our season's always going to start when time changes. So right there around March 15th, I believe, March 16th is when we'll start our first week of team practice. And we have basically 4 different levels. We have what you call sports golf, and sports golf is our beginning level. Okay. So we have sports golf for boys and girls. We separate them. I learned that one the hard way over these years. So we start with sports golf, and then we get into competitive. And from competitive, you go into competitive 2, and then for my older kids, we have what we call elite golf. So we, the youngest you can sign up is at 5 years old, and usually 5 to about 8-year-olds. Those are the ones who are playing in the sports golf category. Okay. So, and then they progress from there. So the cool thing with all that, with sports golf, I'm going to kind of sit here and break down each level and what we do. Sports golf, we use a lot of other sports. We'll use football, baseball, tennis to start teaching them the golf. We start teaching them the movements and stuff like that of the swing, and then we play other games so they start learning how to score and stuff like that. So sports golf is really fun. It's energetic and keeps the kids moving. That's what I'm always trying to do. We keep kids moving, we keep them engaged, and they're just having fun. As they progress into competitive golf, we go up and we get a little bit more fundamental. We start learning a little bit more about the fundamentals of the game, learning a few more rules and stuff like that. And that progression goes all the way up until really when we get into elite golf, then we're talking about how we score. These kids are starting to play a little bit more tournaments individually and stuff like that. So that's kind of the progression of our 4 levels. And we block it off. Usually once I get everyone signed up, and that's what we do here in February. That's why I try to kick off at the first part of February. So I get everyone signed up and then kind of start sending out the schedule there at the beginning of March. So when we do start kicking off the season, boom, we're ready to go. And I do schedules for 2 weeks. I send 2 weeks out. I use the Remind Me app. It's a very easy app. I think everyone's used to it with their schools. And so I put you in a class. I send out stuff like that. Usually most parents get tired of me sending it out, but if I'm communicating with you plenty, then we usually don't have any problem. Okay? So that's kind of the basics of what we call our weekly classes. At other clubs, they call them weekly class. I call them team practice because when they do start getting into PGA Junior League, it's a team sport, the way it's based and set up. So we say team practice. It gets the kids to come out and practice. They're with their friends. They're having fun and stuff like that. So that's why we call ours team practice. So going right on. Usually pre-COVID, I was going to schools and stuff like that, working with kids, but now with COVID, we're not really working with too many schools. I'm hoping in the future we get back to that. I enjoyed going to the schools and teaching kids that normally wouldn't play golf. So I'm hoping we can get back into that we're going in there, and hopefully eventually this all goes away. But that's where it is. I know some of y'all kind of asked, hey, what are we doing on school things? So right now we're not, and that's okay. I understand from the school standpoint. So right now, most of them are just coming and we're working through it, okay? So if you would like to sign up for the team practice, it's really easy. Most of you who've been with me, I've already sent y'all most of the information out. But you can go to the Crown website, go under Junior Golf, and you'll see a sign-up sheet for that, and it'll go like that. So what we do when you're signing up, you're basically buying packages. How many practices you want. So it's not on a monthly or a weekly deal. It's, just for instance, package 5 is 9 passes. So that's 9 passes. If you, for a lot of times, if you're just trying to find something for the summer, that's about 9 weeks, because everyone goes on vacation July 4th or, Labor Day or Memorial Day. So that one's real good. Okay, so you can go like that. And you can see all the pricings and stuff like that. So all you're doing is buying the practice. So if you come to 2 practices in the month of April, but then, the other 2 don't count against you when I'm still having practice. So it's kind of on your base, and it's more of a win-win situation between the 2. So that is pretty much what we got for team practices and the gist of it, okay? So again, things you need to kind of know. Is that we got 4 skill levels. Now, if you don't know what skill level your junior's in, okay, you just kind of give me like if they've never played golf, okay, I'm probably going to put them in sports golf, but if you got an older kid, he's 11, never played golf, but he's played other sports, okay, I might work him into one of my boys or girls competitive. We might do a couple private lessons to catch him up, but if he's athletic and stuff like that, there's ways for us to move him in, okay? So if you're not 100% sure where the kid, where your child needs to go skill level, don't worry. We'll talk about that. We'll figure it out. And if it's moving him around, if he progresses, and all the progression, it's not from season to season, it's really up. I mean, I've had kids who've started off in sports golf, and by the end of the summer, and they might have hit a growing spurt, and it finally clicked onto them. I've been competitive, so progression is kind of on their own pace. Each kid's different. I will always say, I will never make a promise that I'm going to take your junior and be on the professional tour. Okay, I'm going to show them how great the game of golf is, how fun you can have it, and you can play it forever. And now, if so and so, I got quite a few older kids who just like having fun. Some of them, I think, just for some reason are nuts enough just like to come hang out with me for once a week. But then I got some young ones who, when we play games, I got to bear down because I'm afraid they might beat me, and they're more competitive than the older kids. So skill level competition, when they're ready, it's very dependent on that individual. Okay, so don't let where the skill level, where they're at, we'll figure that out. We'll get them somewhere, and if I need to move them, we'll move them. That's why I like putting out the schedule every 2 weeks. It's very easy. We can move things around and stuff like that, and I got no problem with that. I try to be as flexible as I can. So, like I said, so if you want to sign them up, you can go to the website. Okay, so first thing to know about is kind of how team practice works when we got the skill levels. Secondly, where can you sign up? You can go to the Crown Colony website again, Junior Golf, and you'll see the sign up. Or if you would like to actually come meet me, you can stop by the pro shop and you can sign it up the old-fashioned way. We got no problem with that. Okay. Most of y'all know how to either get through with me through Instagram, Facebook, or such like that. Some of y'all even, I think my email's there on the website, so feel free to reach out that way. Some of y'all got my phone number. Feel free, text me, we'll ask questions, and we'll get this going. Like, again, there's a reason why I start this in February to kind of get everyone signed up, so that I have time. There's basically me, and there's a lot of y'all. And that's what I like. As I was saying when I was briefly kind of talking about the history, we started with one class, and now we got many. So, and to show you many, I'm going to start kind of talking a little bit about PGA Junior League. I'm going to tell you the brief history, okay? So, we've been doing team practices for 10 years now. We've been doing Junior League for 5 years. And in East Texas, Northeast Texas, that's what chapter we are in. Myself and one of the pros up there at Bullard, at Oakhurst, were the first 2 pros that started Junior League in the area. And so we had our own league. So and I had one team. We had 11 players. And that one team would play against others and stuff like that. That's how it started off in 2016. Well, the next year we grew where we had our own league. So we didn't have to travel up to Tyler. We stayed right there. And so we grew from 11 to, I believe, 32 to 40 that second year. And we had 4 teams, so 1 to 4 teams. And then in the third year, we got close to 60, and we added a 17U league. Now, a lot of this stuff I'll be breaking down more about Junior League. There's a lot of cool things happening, and kind of tomorrow night's going to be more how I envision 2021 going with the junior program. So tonight's just mostly for people who are trying to get into it or don't know anything about it and want to know about it. So if I don't get too much into it, come and bear with me tomorrow night while I try to work through all this. So, so then that third year we grew, and the past 3 years for North Texas, we've been in the top 10 of how many juniors we've had in our area. So the past, I believe 3 years we've had over 60 juniors playing at Crown Colony in these Junior League matches. So if you do follow me on Instagram and Facebook, or you've been around the club, you've kind of started seeing some of the postage about PGA Junior League. So PGA Junior League it's a team concept. That's why we call our weekly classes team practice. So it's a team concept. Okay, so Junior 1 and Junior 2 are paired up, and they're going to play against Junior 3 and Junior 4, and they're going to play a scramble. Okay, so there's never no pressure on one particular person. Okay, so it's a team deal. Both of them hit a shot, they pick the best shot, and they go forth there. And then the great thing about it, it's also match play. So even if the Crowns, who are playing the Lumberjack in match 1, if the crown team makes a 7 and the other team makes an 8, hey, that's 7-1. So it's not very score basis. The little kids, and probably some of my greatest matches I get to watch when I go out there and watch them are the younger kids, because they're learning how to compete. So, and what's also great is that we start off with kids who are 5 years old. So we basically have 2 leagues. We have 13U, which is 13 and under, and the youngest you can be is 5. And then we have 17U, and so that's 14 to 17. And the 13U is the big one. So you have kids who are 5, you know, they're playing against other kids. You know, we try to keep it equal. You know, again, we're, you know, age-wise, I'm trying to go up against age-wise and skill level and stuff like that, and girls kind of going against girls and so forth like that, you know. And some of my real players who are starting to play in, you know, North Texas junior tournaments and stuff like that, you know, they're out there making birdies. But some of these little ones, I mean, man, you know, they might be fist pumping and they just made a 20-footer for bogey. It's fun to watch. It's fun for them. They're learning to compete. And what's great about it is that they're learning how to be on the golf course. They're not afraid to be on the golf course. I think that's one of the coolest things about this program, is that I've had some of their parents be more timid and worried about what they're doing while being on the golf course. And, you know, little Johnny or Susie sitting there going, no, Mom and Dad, here's what you do, this is what Coach Corey said. So it brings the whole family together, okay? And we'll be talking a lot more about that tomorrow night. So it's now how we have league presented is now we're up to 6 teams. And we decided to go to 6 teams last year. A lot of it due to COVID stuff. You know, we used to have 4 teams. We'd play one night a week. And, you know, apparently I've had it when I try something, you know, we go really big. So we decided to spread it out, and we had 3 matches. You know, we'd have like a match on Tuesday, we had a match on Wednesday, a match on Thursday. And usually our league always started at the beginning of summer. With some changes, we're actually going to kick it off in May. Again, I'm just trying to explain everything. I'll be going into more detail tomorrow night with my presentation. So season will actually start in May. We'll have 6 teams again, and so forth. The only cool thing about 17U is usually in 13U, I would always pick an all-star. It would be the top 10 players I had in my league, and we would go up to Dallas and play in a sectional qualifier. And the sectional qualifier, was people pretty much all from Tyler to, I want to say, the Garland area to Dallas. That was kind of always our section. And there's tons of kids, and they got to play, and it was a cool event. So, you know, we've gone to Dallas, I believe, 3 or 4 times now. There was a couple times we had to go to Tyler. It was different, but now we're always going to Dallas now. And the cool thing, if we ever win the sectional deal, hopefully soon, you know, then we go to regionals, and there's a nationals, the whole thing. So it's a lot like Little League Baseball. A lot of people know how Little League Baseball works. So Little League Baseball is basically how PGA Junior League came about. It's just Little League Baseball for golf. It's very simple. You know, the kids, you know, you sign up, you go to the PGA Junior League website, you sign up. You know, the kids get jerseys and stuff like that. And a lot of them get to play that. Some of this is the first time like that. So it's a very cool program. It's definitely blown up. It's fun to watch. I think I have many mothers out there who get more excited, and they're kind of sad when the season gets over because they look forward to it because they're out there driving the car and having a good time and watching the kids play. So that's what PGA Junior League. Now I will say, last year we couldn't have a postseason kind of thing, but this year there will be a postseason. I'll be kind of going over tomorrow night how all the postseason will work. And then, like I said, there'll be a postseason for 17U. And sorry, I got a message there and it distracted me. So that's going to be the cool thing. Again, tomorrow night I'm going to be breaking down. There's some cool things that they're doing. There's going to hopefully some cool things that I can try to pull off. We did set up with some matches with some other clubs down in the Conroe area, Montgomery area, and played that. So we are looking to add on to that this coming up year. So that's kind of the main goal. So that's what I'm looking for. So other activities that we also do, last year we did our own drive, chip, and putt. Drive, chip, and putt it's a national competition. If some of y'all are familiar in football with punt, pass, and kick, I think is what it used to be called. It's kind of golf's version of it. If you make it all the way through, you get to have nationals at Augusta, Georgia, where they hold the Masters. So it's a cool thing. But with, again, COVID restrictions, we couldn't do it. So I decided that it was one of the biggest events. It was probably one of the coolest events we did, because I finally looked up and I had families. Everybody was spread out, I promise. But everyone was spread out and kind of watching the kids compete. It was just right there on the driving range, and it was just cool. You know, there was guys in the restaurant who were cheering them on. So we will be doing that. I did try to get our own there at Crown Colony, an actual qualifier, but the people who signed up last year got first dibs this year. So hopefully we are on the list, and hopefully in 2022 we can host the real deal. But we will have one here, again, kind of getting kids prepared for it so they know what they're working on. So that was one of the cool things. We did introduce Family Cup, so we will be doing that again this year. We're going to kind of add on to it and do some other special gifts. Family Cup is basically PGA Junior League, but for the family. The whole family gets out there. We have a kind of a fun format, and we make a competition. And really, I think now looking back and through the 10 years of the program, I think that's probably one of the coolest things is, one, we get people out there at Crown Colony, and two, it's always, how can I get the whole family involved? You know, Dad might have always been involved, and, you know, he wants to go hit balls, but, you know, is it okay for, you know, his little ones to go out there and putt while he's hitting? And then, you know, how can we get Mom involved? You know, Mom might be the one who's eventually taking these kids to the tournament, so she needs to know. So there's a lot of things that I sit here and try to come up with is, how can I educate the whole family? And that's always my goal, just not the kids, but how can I educate the whole family? How can I get the whole family out on the golf course or here at the club having fun and experience? So that's really the premises of Crown Colony Junior Golf. Okay, and that's what we keep striving for. So the other thing, lastly, 3 years now we've done our Junior Club Championship. That was another big event. It grew. I think last year, the first year we did it, I think there was like maybe 20 kids, and this past year it was over 40. I don't think we quite got to 50, but it was a whole bunch of age groups, and then they all met there, and everyone was high-fiving. I had little ones high-fiving with the high school kids, and it was a cool thing. So we'll be adding on to that. Like I said, I'll be going into more detail tomorrow, but this is pretty much the gist of how our junior program works and what we all have to offer. So I know I didn't talk about camps. We'll be talking about camps later on. I'll be showing all that stuff. So we do offer camps, but I didn't want to get into that because that's a totally other deal. But basically, if we're sitting here and you're trying to get a little summary here for Crown Colony Junior Golf, it is a full program where we work with the juniors, we get them going in our team practices, and there's opportunity. Now, maybe Junior League is not for them. Maybe they just want to do team practice. Maybe they just want to come hang out with their buddies. That's fine too. But as they get like that and they want to compete, most little kids want to compete. They're at that age, like, no, I'm better than you, and that's fine. We do it in a fun atmosphere. We can sign them up for PGA Junior League, and we can get them out there. So you have basically, you sign up for team practice. You get 1 day of practice. You're out there working with me, and then you come out when we start the season. You get 1 day, and you actually get to play golf. So it's a great full program. They get plenty of stuff. Some other things you need to know. You might be sitting here, hey, this sounds all great, Coach Corey, but I don't have golf clubs. Don't need golf clubs. We got golf clubs. We got people who donate all the time. We got plenty of junior clubs. You know, all you really need is a collared shirt, some nice shorts, tennis shoes, Might want to bring a water bottle, and that's it. Everything else, I have. Okay, you don't have to worry about that stuff. We have clubs, we have golf balls, we have all the supplies. Now, I will tell you, when you sign up, and I get that when we kick off that week, you will get a goodie bag. Usually, it's a towel, some golf balls, and some other stuff to kind of help you out there too, some hats and stuff like that. So when you sign up, you kind of get a little goodie bag. The kid does. He gets dig through. And, ooh, I got this, and ooh, this looks nice. And goes over there and tells his dad, ooh, my hat looks better than you. So it's kind of a cool thing that we do. So that's pretty much my presentation. Like I said, tomorrow night, usually I do this all in one big night. It's about an hour and a half. We're down there at the club, and it's going crazy. Kids running around, parents asking me questions. So I'm trying to split this up. Tonight was pretty much for all my people who are trying to get in the program or have asked about the program. So I'm trying to break it down tonight and say, hey, here's what we offer and stuff like that. Tomorrow night, I'll be going over and kind of going more into what we have planned for 2021. I think I got some cool ideas breaking up, some exciting stuff that kind of make some of our competitive seasons not all the way year round, but closer to kind of keep people engaged and stuff like that. And then Saturday, I will be talking about the Force Scholarship. I'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, kind of presenting it, and we'll go over that. So hopefully this is a good start. We get people kind of more interested. Like I said, if you need to ask me questions, you can Facebook message me, Instagram me. Some of y'all have my phone number, text me, stuff like that. Go ahead free to ask me questions, something like that. I'll be